Good morning to all my friends and family, and welcome to Jim's 5 a.m. Club. Just popped off the train again, and it's a beautiful morning. Looks like there's a bit of cloud up there, gentle breeze, but it is mild. It is a beautiful day. Looks like it's not going to be raining, not going to be wet. And what we'll do is we'll go for a bit of a walk and talk as we normally do. And I just can't believe how beautiful it is. Where else in the world can you pop off a train, get onto a platform and celebrate this beautiful harbour that we have? And it's going to start bustling up with people as the morning progresses. And what I'll do is I'll head downstairs and go through a book summary again today. We're into our book summaries, and we've got hundreds and hundreds of books that we go through on Jim's 5 a.m. Club, and each and every book will deliver 2 or 3 messages that may help us get through the morning, get through the day. So today's book summary is entitled The In-Between. The In-Between by Jeff Goins. And it's an interesting book, a very, very interesting book that gives us a few insights on the small things in life and how we need to be able to juggle and manage between the major events, but also not to lose sight of the fact that it's the small events, the small moments in life that can also be just as wonderful and just as empowering. So the author kicks off his book with an observation that many people may not be aware of, but the big moments are the tiny moments, according to the author. The breakthroughs are often silent, and they happen in the most unassuming places. So the author then leads us to a call to action, and that call to action is for each and every one of us to consider savouring the little, seemingly irrelevant moments that occur in between the big events, and to know that these little moments, these little places, these nooks are where you grow the most and receive the greatest joys. And I'm sure that a lot of us understand that and agree with that, some people just spend their time preparing for the big moments, for the big days, and miss out on those little moments where the magic happens. But this author here is all about just making us aware that the magic in life happens in places where you least expect it, at times where you're least prepared for it, but we need to be open. We need to be open, ready and willing to make the most of each and every moment as and when it prepares itself and appears to us. So the first key point to come out of the book, let me just tap through. The first key point to come out of the book is that we need to let go of our big expectations, and you'll find that even the tiniest moments can be life-changing for those who embrace their lives and opportunities and understand that even under the tiniest grain of sand you may find the biggest lesson, the biggest insight. And it doesn't need to be a massive lesson, doesn't need to be a massive moment or event that will spark a friendship, spark a moment of joy, spark the act of love and the act of caring, because these moments are around us everywhere. So the author then goes on to tell us something which is also quite interesting, and he says that the more we resist our lives and the events in our lives and the lessons in our lives, the more you resist those lessons or those moments, the more life will punish you. So I guess a lesson here is to just let go and make sure that you're able to go with the flow and let life take you on a journey. And you know, when things go wrong or off track, you know, essentially that's where life is actually happening, and not to fear those moments or that opportunity. Now, once again, let's say it again from this author's perspective. So it's when things go wrong or you appear to be off track, that is when life is actually happening. And the important thing from this author's perspective is to make sure that you're not missing out on the lessons in life and the joys that come with it by resisting where life wants to take you and the path that you're on, and to be looking for opportunities, for lessons at every sort of juncture, at every intersection. Here we have got our little tiger, nice and bright. Let's go up there for a little while. I think it's a bit nicer there in the light. So the author then goes on to tell us that we need to start paying attention, and to be here and now, and you'll learn to value each and every moment, and not to spend your time living in your past, or not to spend your time living in your future, but to spend as much time as you can living in the present moment, because it's in the present moment, the here and now, that life is celebrated and life is actuated. And the author then has another observation here, is that there's nothing like the feeling of heading home. You know, we leave home in the morning to start our adventure. We get on a plane to go on an adventure. We do things as an adventure, but nothing beats the feeling of heading back home, according to the author. And the author also says that when you think of the people who matter most in your life, and the love you have for those people, that in itself is enough to transform any moment and make any moment absolutely beautiful. And I think the author had a moment like that when he was on a train going through the US, and he found that the scenery was boring, but he met a man on the train there who said, "Oh, isn't it great going back home? This scenery is absolutely beautiful." And it was the realization that when you are heading back home, when you're thinking of your loved ones, when you're content with yourself, when you're full of love, then everything around you see from a different perspective, and everything is beautiful. So the bottom line, of course, as the author says, is we need to pay attention to the here and now, because if we don't, then we'll miss out on it, is the bottom line. And the last call to action from the author is a big one, and I'm into this. I love this, and it's part of my Greek culture. And the thing is that whilst it's important to identify and to make the most of the small moments, it's equally as important to celebrate the big events in your life and to be grateful for them. Things like weddings, engagements, christenings, birthdays, name days, religious days, feast days, Easter, Christmas. All of these major events are milestones in our lives which need to be enjoyed and celebrated. Weddings, for example. Just across the road from where I am, up there where it says the Four Seasons Hotel, is where I had my wedding reception 35 years ago, back in 1985, with my beautiful bride Paula. And it was the best day of my life. There is no there is no doubt that a wedding, your wedding, is the most important day of your life, because it's a day of your life where everything is perfect. There is never ever a day, never ever another day which comes close to it. It's a day where the people that you have in your life, the most significant people that enter your life and that you have in your life, are there congregated in the one place at the one time, creating the most perfect event. Because even if you married, even if you got married on the next day, not every person would be there. And the great thing about weddings is that everybody's on their best behaviour. Everybody is dressed and expressing themselves as one beautiful group of people, and are there to create magic. The magic for you and your bride, and it's a perfect day. I look back on my wedding day and my reception there at the Four Seasons, and I reminisce, and I think, wow, where are all those people now? My parents, my grandparents, my father-in-law, some uncles, some aunts, where we were there celebrating that event on that day. So the bottom line, the message that I have for everybody is, don't skimp on your wedding day. Spend the big dollars, enjoy it, get as many people together. My daughter's weddings were a day that I'll never forget, being able to be with all their friends, with all our relatives, many people who I've hardly ever seen since that day. The reality of life, especially the reality of life here in Australia, is that you don't get to see people all that often. And you don't get to see all the people that you want in the same place at the same time. Because with COVID-19 and with the way life is, where people are, doing their own thing with different social circles and groups of people, you hardly get a chance now to catch up with all the people that you love and all the people who mean something to you in your life. So the important thing is to enjoy and to make the most of the big events, to find magic in the small events, because that's how your life is, and that's how your life will evolve and you will grow and develop. And if you don't make the most of those moments, if you don't make the most of the big times, if you don't make the most of your individual moments, then guess what? The years will pass and you'll regret not celebrating all of those opportunities when they popped up and when you had them in your grasp. So if you're invited to an event, just drop everything and go, because that event will never come back again. That grouping of people will never be part of your life again, unless of course you're lucky and you've got a social circle which sticks together. But the lesson that I've learnt in life is that social circles, friends, family, gatherings are all very, very fleeting, and if you don't grab it with both hands, 10 fingers and both arms and hug it close to you, it will change. The dynamics are always changing because people dynamics are changing. People are divorcing, people are breaking up, people are not talking to each other. So the magic that you have today will most certainly only be around for a limited amount of time, so make the most of it. So thank you very much for joining me on Jim's 5am Club for this book summary that we've been through this morning. The In-Between, a lovely book by Jeff Goins. Let's finish off with a positive affirmation. I'm alive, I'm well, and I feel absolutely great. To my friends and family, stay connected, stay relevant, stay reasonable, stay powerful like this tiger, and make the most of the moments in your life and make the most of the big events as well. Celebrate them where possible, come together with friends and family because we are social beings after all. But with COVID-19 and the challenges of our individual isolated lives, it's becoming harder and harder to be one as a group. Yasas, take care. If you're lucky from Jim's 5am Club, and I look forward to coming to you later with another message of empowerment to help us get through the morning, get through the day, to live, learn and pass it on. Take care. If you're lucky once again, and we'll chat later. Bye for now. Have a great day. Have an awesome day. Cheers and bye.